Now it's time to put the stops in the lower corners. We've got our hardware for our stops. I still have not released any of the cable from the parallel bar. Don't release it yet, don't pull anything out. And I'm going to bring it to the bottom of the desk. I've got my pencil to mark the hole, I've got my nail and my hammer to make my pilot, and I've got my hardware pieces. Now, I need to bring this spring side up. Side without the spring is on the bottom. This is the bottom of the desk. You're going to bring it up to the edge. I'm going to look at where the cable comes out, because the cable will actually thread through this slot right here and down inside. And I'm going to stop at the edge, and I'm going to mark where the hole is. Then I will simply take the stop off, pilot my hole with my nail. Just need a little pilot. Then I'm going to go ahead and bring this back. And I'm going to start to attach it. And the interesting thing about these stops is I'm going to get it close to tight, but not completely tight. It's loose. The stop won't go over the edge of the desk, but the stop has to stay loose because I have to be able to thread the cable through and then finishing the tightening process. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Now we're ready to start putting the cables in place. I'm going to release this cable here and release this one here, the tails. One's going to end up on this side, one's going to end up on that side. This spring is at the top, and the parallel bar is up at the top. I'm going to release the cable up top. I'm going to take the cable, it's going to go around the nylon wheel outside of the threaded rod on this piece of hardware. I'm going to release the cable on this side. I'm going to take the cable up here and thread it outside the nylon wheel on this side. The cable is still loose. I'm going to make sure they're around these nylon wheels, and my spring is in the middle. I'm going to take a tail. The tail of the cable needs to go in that hole right there. Tail goes in, goes between the stop and the table. Cable comes out. Then if you can see at all, cable is actually on this side of the screw over here. I'm going to wrap it around the screw like this, and I'm going to put the end right through there so it's wrapped around the screw, and I'm going to pull it slightly tight. But if you look, be very careful. It's okay if the parallel bar is no longer parallel, but make sure you got cable around the nylon wheels and the spring is close to being in the center. I'm going to hold the cable here, and I'm going to finish tightening the screw down. So what we're going to do next is we're going to start by taking the opposite tail, And we're going to once again thread it through that hole. Actually, I'm going to put it first on this side of the screw. So it comes out here on this side of the screw. And I'm going to start putting a little bit of tension on this so that the cable, there's not tension on the spring yet. I've held on to my tail. You've got to hold on to the tail. This tail is here. I haven't cut anything off. It's tight on this side. The cable is in the correct position. Outside the threaded rod, outside the nylon wheels, parallel bar is up there. You're going to grab onto this parallel bar and you're going to pull it to the bottom. And it's not parallel, it's hitting the stop on this side. You are now going to grab onto it and you're going to pull it until this parallel bar hits both these stops on the bottom. And this is sometimes where it's nice to have another set of hands, because you may want to have somebody hold the parallel bar in place so it doesn't shift while you're pulling the cable. Now, I've got the parallel bar in the right place, but if you look, there's no tension on the spring. Okay, so there's no tension on the spring, so now I'm pulling. See the spring expanding? Now I have tension on the spring. The parallel bar is touching the bottom on both sides, and I'm going to tighten this. And you're close. You're in. On your instructions, it specific tells you the tension is recommended not to exceed. That's 3.5 inches. 3.5 inches from here to here. Last part of this is you're going to put this flat piece over top of that threaded rod, and you're going to fully tighten it down. So when you get to the end of mounting your parallel bar to your desk, please do not cut the cable off. What you want to do is you want to take the cable and you want to wind it up like this, and take a little bit of drafting tape, and we can wind that up together, and then we can take the drafting tape and we can simply take this little tail and tape it to the underside of the desk. And if you want to attach these, there's a groove. It's very hard to see because it's all black. Okay. This piece will slip right here into that groove so that you can have the clips on both ends. And now your desk is set up and ready to go. Thank you, and I appreciate you watching this video.